Endless mountains, frozen landscapes, and brutal cold. Today we're taking on one of the most stunning highways on Earth in the dead of winter. Join us as we venture into the freezing Alaska range and do our best to survive its merciless cold in our little self-converted camper van.
Gotta warm up all our winter layers before we go out. We've got our little diesel heater coming out here. Normally it keeps the van so warm, but it's at max right now, and it's probably like 45.
We're in the Delta Mountains right now, and it's about minus 30, minus 35 Celsius. It's pretty cold. We have about a week left here in Alaska, so we're trying to make the best of it and see as much of these mountains as we can and head back down to Valdez area maybe. We'll see. People wonder why we stay up here in Alaska when it's so cold and it's winter, but it's mornings like this that keep us here. It's just so beautiful. Also, check this. My hair is already frozen and it's been like a minute.
Made it so hard to shoot with how frosted up the camera was.
It's also days like these where I question why we're up here still. It is very cold outside. We were gonna record some stuff outside for you guys, but my phone died within like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of being outside, and it was full battery, like full charge. I also had to take my gloves off for a few minutes, not even, and my hands were just like screaming at me. They hurt so much. They were literally burning from the cold. It was pretty bad. Our cameras were also fogging up. My hair was frozen. My eyelashes were frozen. But the beauty up here is kind of worth it. Kind of. This morning we are on the Richardson Highway about 30 miles southeast of Delta Junction, Alaska. Last night when we found our campsite, the mountains were completely socked in. But this morning, we woke up to the most magnificent view. The towering north face of the 13,000-foot Mount Moffett is so large on the horizon, it almost doesn't feel real. We've also been back in the van for about like 30 minutes now, and we're still wearing our snowsuits. Because it was just so cold outside. I still feel chilly. And also our diesel heater doesn't work very well in this temperature. There is warm air coming out, but it cannot keep up with the cold of outside. So the air in here is still a little bit chilly. Delicious.
Wow!
Whoa! Yeah! A lot of our day looks like cleaning and putting things away oftentimes. The van just gets so messy so quickly with such little space. It just feels like there's no room in here. Since we've been up here in the winter, there's been a lot of changes in the van. We have all of our winter stuff up here, which just takes up so much more space. And we've had issues with the battery down below. So now we can't put up the bed to have our seating area. And there's just all kinds of stuff stored under the bed, which would normally be stored in the garage. One thing I've noticed since starting van life is I really hate when things are dirty. Like, it's so disgusting, and it's so easy for this space to get dirty. I think my dad would be very proud of me right now for actually making sure things are clean. I was always messy growing up. Like, my room was always a disaster, and sometimes it would get a little bit dirty, but I don't know. Since starting van life, I'm more annoyed with dirty and messiness of things. We got some water heated up here in our little pot for doing some dishes.
Really helps because like keeping the sponges clean with cold water is really a pain, and also just like we have to conserve water this time of year because a lot of places you could get water in the summer are turned off in the winter, and so our water fill-ups are a lot fewer and further between. So we also have to use like paper towels a lot more than we would normally when doing the dishes, just to conserve a little bit on water.
Also, dishes like don't really get clean when you wash it with cold water, so especially when they have a lot of oil on them. The oil just kind of solidifies and sticks to everything. It's gross. This is probably one of my least favorite parts about van life is dishes. Thankfully, Will mostly takes care of them. I do the drying. You're gonna have to be careful. This was kind of close to the heater and it kind of started melting. We had 2 jugs like this, but one of them broke when we were in the Yukon, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We've been surviving with just one just fine.
And this one's already actually a little bit broken, like the flap broke off. We got these for $10 at Grocery Outlet, and so I guess they're getting, you know, money's worth at least, but they aren't anything special. One of the things that cause problems in the van the most are the hinges on the cupboards. It's a constant battle keeping them working and screwed in. So these popped out today. We're screwing them back in. Will last for a little while, but it's a lot of strain on them when we go down bumpy roads and stuff is kind of banging against them. But we keep it together. When it's super cold out, we actually put window covers on for insulation. Unfortunately, I just haven't gotten the chance to sew up the Velcro on, and so it doesn't really stay, and so we kind of jerry rig it together with tape so it stays up, but it definitely doesn't look that nice. It's something I need to do because it's a pain, but this helps keep the heat in a lot. And then also I have these insulated curtains which help a lot, and then also on back windows insulated curtains too, just to try to keep the heat in as much as possible. We are to the most nerve-wracking part of the day. Will the van start? As we know, vehicles don't like to start when it's super cold out, but this is a diesel vehicle. It has glow plugs which heat up the gas, and theoretically that should be enough, but we've had some problems where it was a little hard to start when we went up to the Arctic, and you just never know. We're running the glow plugs twice, and moment of truth. Our next cold related thing we have to address is if the batteries, the lithium batteries in the back are charging. They normally would charge with the van being on through the alternator, but they can't charge if they're below freezing. And so we have a heat lamp installed, but even that doesn't always keep it warm enough when it's so cold, because they're in the garage, and the garage doesn't really get much airflow from the heater, and it's close to the door. So we'll go see if they're charging. So the battery is not charging right now. I just checked on the little controller, and so that means we're going to plug in the heat lamp. That actually uses a lot of power, but hopefully that during the time we're driving will be enough to warm it up so we can actually get some charge in from the van's alternator while we drive.
This happens a lot when it's cold outside and we get the van really warm, and then we just get ice on the inside instead of the outside, so we have to scrape. And the easiest thing I found was using just a card. It's a Tim Hortons card because I'm Canadian, obviously. So we're gonna head on for we're gonna get back on the road. We're gonna explore some of the mountains here today. Daylight's very short this time of year, so we're very limited on time in that sense. We also have some content to shoot for a brand, so we're gonna do that in this beautiful area so we can get some good stuff for them, and then we're gonna find a nice place to shoot sunset. Let's see if we have enough time to do all of that.
The Richardson Highway is the only road that takes you into the true heart of the Alaska Range. Yet despite its beauty, this stretch between Delta Junction and Paxton is often overlooked by travelers because it is not a direct route between any of the most popular destinations in the state. But those who skip it have no idea what they're missing: towering peaks, untouched wilderness, and a sense of absolute isolation. It feels like driving through a postcard. Following us through the valley, the Delta River winds its way down from the giant glaciers that flow between these massive peaks. In summer, its braided torrent can stretch more than a kilometer wide, but this time of year it melts into the endless white expanse. The Alaska Range stretches over 600 miles, carving a massive divide across the state. It's home to some of the tallest and most dramatic mountains in North America, including Denali itself. Here, the mountains don't just sit on the horizon. Their jagged ridges rise sharply from the valley floor, completely surrounding you.
Our spot for the night, and I'm just catching up on my journaling. I didn't do my journaling last night or this morning, and we're just gonna have some peanut butter and honey sandwiches, and then we're gonna head out and shoot sunset in a little bit. It's like what, 2 o'clock?
2:30, something like that.
2:30? Yeah, 2:30, almost 3, I guess, not 1 o'clock. And it's already like golden hour. And it stays golden hour for several hours, so we have plenty of time. But sunset is at like what, 3:30, 4?
Like 3:30, I think.
So sunset's actually pretty early. Wow.
Yeah. Well, doors are frozen shut. Got that one, but we'll see if we can get the sliding door.
Cold weather problems. There's a lot of them.
Just come out the front here.
Heading out, take some pictures. It's not as cold as this morning. The mountains are really pink. Really pretty.
Unreally pink.
Yeah, they're like really pink, like unbelievably pink. Like you'd probably think it's photoshopped. You can't really see it
Yeah.
as well, but
Great.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. Which way are we going?
We're going down here. We're gonna go down at the riverbed, get some photos down there. Hopefully the light holds. But it's really, really beautiful.
Okay. You're too fast for me. I'm trying to run with my arms straight out.
Yeah,
You
that's
make me-
It's even pretty in front of us.
My hat keeps getting pushed down.
So this is actually a trail to Kastner Glacier. It's an ice cave and it is incredible. And I think we're gonna go there tomorrow. But yeah, we're just gonna go right now down at the riverbed to get some photos for sunset.
Just look at this view.
While this is only the start of our journey down the Pan American Highway, Alaska has already left its mark on us. These frozen landscapes and towering peaks, it's impossible not to fall in love with this place. Every turn has been an adventure, every mile unforgettable. But as we head south, we know this is only the beginning. A whole world of wild places and new experiences lies ahead, and we can't wait to chase them.
Well, I messed up. Remember how I told you guys about plugging in that heat lamp to keep the batteries warm or warm them up so they would charge? Well, when we stopped, I forgot to turn off the inverter, and so it kept sucking power. And it sucks quite a lot of power, 24 amps. Krista just realized that I had forgotten to turn it off, and we're already down to 47% battery, which is not great. We were fully charged yesterday evening, and so to burn through more than half the battery in a day gets a resounding thumbs down for me. That means we're going to have to move on probably a little bit faster than we wanted to find somewhere to charge. But oops. I may have messed up and cost us a lot of battery, but it's not all bad here. We're about to have a delicious supper. Well, once we finish making it.
You just kissed me on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Aww. Well, it's still pretty cold outside, but it's not as cold as this morning, thankfully. Our doors are frozen shut except for the passenger door in the front. So Will was saying that, you know, if we can't get the doors open in the morning, then we're just gonna continue on. But I'm just glad that we're inside the van. I'm more worried about being able to get in the van than being able to get out, especially in this cold. Now it's time to make dinner. We're gonna make some moose tacos. We made some a couple weeks ago and they were so delicious. Probably one of the best meals we've made on the road. So we're excited to make that again. Yay!
I need to wash my hands first.
In the cold, cold water.
It's actually decently warm. The heater's been that first little bit is decently warm, then it gets the stuff that was in the jug and it gets very cold. But I think the heater warms up the pipes, which is a good thing, so they don't freeze. Or usually don't.
I'm thirsty. I don't know why I'm never thirsty in the mornings, but always in the evenings.
So you can't sleep the night through.
Mm-hmm. 1 a.m., 4 a.m., wake up. Gotta pee.
So we got a real Alaskan moose steak here from this fall. You know, we're heading to Mexico next, so combining a little bit of Mexican and Alaskan. I think we're both starting to look forward to the warmth and, you know, the nice food and all that. I mean, it's so beautiful up here, but the cold does get old eventually.
I keep saying that I'm gonna miss Alaska because it's so beautiful, but also I'm excited to get out of the cold. My body doesn't handle very cold and it doesn't handle very hot well. I get very cold easily, but I get very hot easily. I think my body just sucks at regulating temperature. So yeah, I remember this one time when I was in Bali, I was just sitting by the pool in my swimsuit. Just sitting, not even doing anything, and I was drenched in sweat. It was not fun. It was not a good time.
Oh, looks like it's a good cut. I mean, I really have zero idea what a good cut of moose or really any meat looks like,
I
but
was gonna say, there's no way you know what a good cut looks like.
this is what it looks like.
Eating well in Alaska on a tight budget isn't easy. Grocery prices out here can be brutal. But we just passed through Fairbanks, where food is a little more affordable, so we stocked up on some fresh ingredients. And after living off mostly pre-packaged food on our trip up the Dalton, this feels like a real feast. Fresh, flavorful, and exactly what we've been craving.
This is not a very good meat knife.
Well, you're supposed to use a fork to cut meat.
Oh. I'm not very experienced at this. Why? What? You're so much better at that. I was also not running it back and forth. I'm learning how to cut meat. I grew up vegetarian, so. Are you excited about the tacos?
Yes, I am. It's gonna be delicious. It's so good.
Maybe describe what what moose meat tastes like.
I don't know. It kind of tastes like beef, but better. More wild. It's got a wild taste. Ah, yes. Our favorite sound.
Fire alarm going off. These are so good. Definitely one of my favorite meals we've made on the road. The one annoying thing is they definitely take a bit of time to make, but it's not bad and they just taste so good. I got to clean up. I'm just so tired now. My stomach's full. Just want to sleep. Well, our van key's been beeping every once in a while, so that means we need to change the battery. But a cute little quirk about our van is what happens when you change the van key battery. It plays Jingle Bells. It's so festive.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
We're tired.
We're tired, that's it.
Yep, that's
I'm
it.
just gonna say we're tired.
We're
tired. Feeling pretty tired. I don't know if it's probably a combination of a lot of things. I just feel like we've been on the go a lot and there's always been something that's gone wrong. If you watched our Dalton Highway video, you'd know that a lot of things went wrong while we were up there, and it was very stressful and very exhausting, but it's worth it. Also, like, the lack of daylight, also very exhausting. Like, you really feel it, like the difference in, like, we got up at what, 8?
Yeah,
7:30,
yeah.
8, and the sun only rose after that. And we were just feeling beat by like 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun was starting to set by 1:30. Like, it was golden hour by
Yeah.
that time. Sunset fully at 3:30, but it's just so close to the horizon the whole time that it's literally like basically setting that whole time.
Exercise has been another challenge here with van life in the winter in the north. Not only because like there's less daylight for us to actually go out and exercise, but just the amount of time it takes us to get all layered up and ready to go out in the cold. And then once you're out there, when you're actually moving, you're either too hot or too cold. It makes it more of a challenge. So for the last month, we haven't been very good at getting our exercise, which I think just makes us feel better all over and actually have more energy. I feel like I feel very lucky that we get to do this. Like, we feel really blessed.
Yes.
Because we're getting to see the most incredible places, and we're able to capture them, and that's really awesome. But this YouTube thing, we're really loving sharing with you, but it's starting to feel like a full-time job a little bit.
Yeah, but we push through and it ends up being worth it, and we're really happy with the outcome of what we've been getting so far. But we've been on the road for a while and we keep saying we're gonna slow down, and since we've been in Alaska, it's just been go go go, and well, we can't slow down now. We only have 3 more weeks,
Right?
and do you know how many beautiful places there are between here in Alaska and Calgary? Like, we're driving through the Canadian Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
We're driving through like near Kluane in the Yukon.
We could literally spend a year between here and Calgary and still wish we had more time.
We can't stop now. We gotta keep pushing through. And we're gonna be tired by the end of it, but at least we got a month in Quebec to just, relax as much as we want and just be able to edit our videos. And then we have some time in Washington where we're just gonna be, getting some family time in and editing.
Yeah, so that'll be good for us to get caught up, but it's been a little bit hectic, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're just feeling so tired.
Yeah.
But again, we also feel really blessed to be where we are. We're really incredibly lucky. Van life in this kind of temperature, it's definitely a unique experience. It's not throwing your back doors open on the beach in Baja California for sure, but it still is special in its own way, even with the challenges that are thrown on top.
But I think we're gonna check in for the night. We're pretty exhausted today, and we have another big day tomorrow. We're gonna continue exploring here in the Delta Range and see these beautiful mountains before we have to head on. Our battery went from like 80% this morning down to, it's probably at like 35 now. It was 38 a little while ago, so.
Yeah, it's going down fast. And then I had the little with leaving the heat lamp on.
But it is what it is. We'll still get to see an ice cave tomorrow. And
it's really beautiful.
Experience these beautiful mountains before we have to leave, so. We're gonna check in, we're gonna watch a movie, or check out, I should say.
Yeah.
Watch a movie and just chillax. So Will decided we're gonna watch Gudetama. I don't know if you've ever heard of Gudetama, but essentially it's by Sanrio, the creators of Hello Kitty. So it's a little animated show about an egg.
It's really cute. It's kind of dumb, but
actually it's not even the egg, it's like the egg yolk. Yeah. The yolk and the egg whites, just like the inside of an egg.
But I think we both feel like we need kind of just relax here, and it's getting late. We want to go to bed early. Mm-hmm. And so it's a really chill, laid back.
And it's kind of funny and cute.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty silly and relatable.
Mm-hmm.
He's also always very tired, so.
We had a Gudetama hanging from a hook until just a couple days ago, and I think he fell out. And
he fell out?
I don't know. He's not there anymore.
No.
He's not there anymore. I noticed this morning he's gone.
I didn't know we lost him.
Yeah, it's really sad. So I guess this is for you, Gudetama. If you're ever up in Alaska between Fairbanks and Delta Junction and you find a little Gudetama, he's been all over. He's a world traveler and he'd like to join you. Maybe he'll show up. Maybe he's around the van, but I think he's gone. I think we lost Gudetama.
That's so sad. Oh well.
Well, on that tragic note,
let's watch some Gudetama.
Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Good night.